man, got a big box of porn for you.
That would be a Merry, Merry Christmas or a Happy Hanukkah if you got a big box of porn. Oh, my goodness, that would be great. Oh, Grandma would be surprised, and Grandpa would sneak off to the bathroom, and you wouldn't see him for the rest of the evening. That sounds like a holiday miracle right there. Where's Grandpa? I don't know. I haven't seen him in like 7 hours. He comes back, and he's just like exhausted, just dripping with sweat. Anyway. I hope you guys are having a great day. Got a lot to get into. Hopefully you had a happy holiday. I know my holidays aren't over quite yet because we're doing something with my wife's family this weekend. We always do that. It's separate, and we'll do it like a big gift exchange. There will be whiskey. Can't wait for that. It's always fun. It's the one time of year that we drink a little much. We do. It's a family tradition. And hopefully nobody brings up politics because that just tends to ruin shit. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great day. A lot to get into. Like I said, make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening or watching. Remember, today's show is brought to you by Game Time PDR. That's paintless dent repair. And, of course, Bet Online. Bet Online continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. They got the earliest odds. They got in-game live betting. Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. They got the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, college basketball, NHL to UFC. Go to betonline.ag right now. Don't forget to use promo code BLEAV. That's BLEAV for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. It's Bet Online. The game starts here. And speaking of starting, let's do it. Let's fire it up. Let's jump into some headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
This is so bizarre to me. I had no idea. This might be shocking to you, too. Did you know the bald eagle wasn't officially the national bird of the United States until this Christmas Eve when Joe Biden decided to make it a thing? That's bizarre. That is so bizarre. It was the official emblem of the United States. It just wasn't the official bird. Listen, I'm just reading what I heard, okay? That he wrote it into law. You're going to be like, oh, that's bullshit. I remember in third grade, I remember doing a Nope. Took 240 years, and then boom, there we go. Yeah. Wild. Bald eagles are fucking cool. We got a few that are only like a few miles from here, and every year there's articles and people on Nextdoor talking about how, they're nesting in certain areas. It's really cool. Really cool. My wife, one year, her and I, we did something in the Grand Canyon. We're on a rafting tour, and as we were, gently going down the river, it's you could look up and there was bald eagles flying by. It was really cool. They're very beautiful, but had no clue. Just saying, look it up. Use the Google machine and figure it out. I ain't bullshitting you. I ain't. Joe Biden saw it and he's like, hey, where's tacos? Yeah, I need. I'm horrible at Joe Biden. Be like, oh, that's not right. I can't do it. But that's not right. I was eating my ice cream, and I thought, that's bull. That's baloney. Hogwash. Then I made it a law, motherfuckers. I will not be asked to do that impression again because it was terrible. When asked about becoming officially the national bird of the United States, the bald eagle said this. That was terrible. Forget I said that. Let's hit the rewind button. When asked about it, the bald eagle refused to speak. There you go. That's better, right? That's better. That reminds me of a time when I worked with Scott Hastings on the radio, and we did some bit where the Broncos were about to take on the Arizona Cardinals. And he teased it throughout the entire show. And then, like, the final 15 minutes of the show, we finally played the audio. He teased it as DeHuff had a chance to sit down with one of the Cardinals, and we have that exclusive interview coming up. And then we get to it. And by the way, my brother at the time was here in Denver, and he heard about it. He listened to the entire show. He was so mad when he finally heard it. Why? Because the interview, I wish I probably have it somewhere. The interview is me interviewing an actual bird. So I would ask it a question, be like, so how are you going to attack this Broncos offense? And it was just like, it's like a bunch of different bird sounds. That's how it spoke to me. And then I would be like, oh, those are fighting words. Now, what's your, blah, blah, blah. And then it'd do the same thing. There were so many people that were mad. And they were texting in. My brother was mad. He's like, are you kidding? I drove around, sat in my car waiting to hear this. I was so proud of my brother. Then you gave me that shit. Yep, that's what we did. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. It's so dumb. Come on. Like, I think it was a preseason game too. So it's not like you're going to get any good insight. Half the time when you hear a player interview, it's just rubbish because they're scared to say anything. Some of the guys will slip up and say something, or they're just pissed off at the world. They'll say something, drop worthy. But most of the time it's trash, honestly. And they don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to get in trouble by the NFL, and they definitely don't want to get in trouble from their team and their teammates. So it makes sense why they just watch their words. So most of the time they don't say jack shit. It's so funny. So funny. This is so gross. I can't wrap my brain around why somebody would think that this is a good idea. This lady she's a competitive eater. I think we've talked about her before. I don't remember for what thing it was. She's pretty attractive, I gotta admit. Her name's Leah Shutkever. That's not how you say her last name. I'm fucking confident that's not how you say it. I'm the butcher of names. You're welcome. I struck again. She ate 49 grams of green cotton candy in 60 seconds. That's fucking gross. That's embarrassing.
Type 2 adult onset diabetes?
It's also that, yes. That can't be healthy for you. Could you imagine being her doctor, her physician? You see that and you're like, oh my God, Leah, seriously. You ate 49 grams of pure sugar in a minute? She's like, I did. Just saying, you're not supposed to hit a patient. But sometimes I get it. I would get it in that situation. Be like, come on, not good for you. Maybe you just shake them a little bit. They're adults. They can take it. She also set the records for consuming 19 chicken nuggets in 1 minute, 10 jelly donuts in 3 minutes. Ooh. Oh, so gross. So gross. What can we do? I brought this up before. I can't do the sugar thing. That's gross. My blood sugar would just be all crazy. I've always had issues with like blood sugar. If I eat too much sugar, it just grosses me out and I get super shaky and whatever. I wonder why. Not good for you. But I feel like one of you and me can do something. We could do like combo. Like, just popped in my head. Somebody look this up. Somebody look it up. We can do this together. You and me. Okay? Maybe it's chicken nuggets. I don't know. Most chicken nuggets fed to a partner. Like we both have to eat the same amount, but I have to feed you and you have to feed me. Let's do it. Somebody look it up. If it's not a record, shit, we're going to fucking make it a record. I don't care if we hold on to that record for a week or a month. We're getting that. Somebody look it up because I'm going to forget by the end of this show. That will be phenomenal. I'll do it. I'll do it with you. Okay? I'll feed you gently, aggressively, whatever it takes, okay? We'll practice into the night, to the early morning. I'll crawl back into bed with my wife and she'll be like, "Why are you so sweaty and why do you smell like meat?" Be like, "I was over at Matt's house." It got a little carried away. Oh my God, that would be great. And maybe it's not chicken nuggets, maybe it's something else, but little wieners. Little. Oh, wouldn't you think we'd have to do little wieners? Yes. I think that would be funnier. It'd get more headlines, and I think it's easier to be done as long as we don't choke on them. Tell you what, I know it seems like impossible to choke on a little wiener. Ladies, you know, some of you guys, you know. But they could just slip down the wrong pipe. Next thing you know, record attempt is over. Let's do it. Somebody look it up. Little wieners and being fed to a partner in a certain amount of time. Let's do it. I swear to God, I will do it. On everything holy, I will stand side by side with you and shove wieners in your mouth. I will do that. And you, in turn, will shove wieners in mine. I'm not kidding. I'll fucking do it. Guys, kids, leave me alone. Daddy's got to go practice. What are you and your friend doing in the garage? We're just going to be put wieners in each other's mouth, okay? Leave me alone. Then they're going to go to school. Dad was a little cranky this morning because he was up late. Why was he up so late? Well, him and one of his buddies were in the garage slipping wieners in each other's mouths. They said it's for a record that they're trying to go for. And then, guys, oh my God, oh my God, look, I'm just coming up with these. We'll get an OnlyFans account, and every time we practice, it will be streamed on OnlyFans. Split the money 50-50. There we go. Oh my God, brilliant idea. Start sending in your submissions. Somebody look it up, and then I'll start, weeding through everybody who's gonna give me the best chance, and maybe it's only one person that submits because only one person has the guts to do it. But we'll go through it. Start emailing me, dehuffpodcast@gmail.com. This is fantastic. I like this. This is what needs to happen in 2025. It's right around the corner. We will train together, and by next year at this time, we will be talking about, because you'll be on this show with me doing an episode, we will talk about how great it was shoving wieners in each other's mouth. Wow, sounds great. My kids will be so proud. I seriously want to do... Dude, seriously, that would get so much publicity, and I think we could do it. Look it up. Anyway. Speaking of consuming food, this has gone viral. This lady was pissed off at Chipotle. I don't remember. She wanted like a refund or something like that. There was something wrong with her food, probably not enough, portions in there, and she was mad. Okay? So this lady got pissed off, went behind the line, and started making her own burrito bowl. Slapping shit in there, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. I don't mean to be a dick about it, but facts are facts. If you're watching this on the video version, I'm hopefully able to get the video and post it up there. This lady is like 3 times the size of their biggest employee. She's a big woman, okay? It's not like you can just, blow on her and then she falls over because she's like, skin and bones. No, she's big. And she starts making her own burrito bowl. Everybody's just like, what do we do? My God. And then finally, near the end, one of the employees is just like, today's a good day to die. And he slaps the bowl out of her hands, and shit goes wild. Okay? This is crazy. As somebody that, one, used to work at Chipotle, and two, just worked in restaurants in general, this shit's got to stop. It's got to stop. And you got to make it, the law, judges out there, make this an example. You start going behind the line, you're putting their lives at risk. There's knives back there. There's hot. Listen, as somebody that, like the tortilla press, there was a girl once that I worked with at Chipotle. She tried to move the tortilla press. She thought somebody had unplugged it. She didn't check it because it was at the end of the night. She was going to move it so she could clean underneath. And she went to grab it, didn't check to see if it was hot, kind of her own fault, but the side of it just melted off her skin on her forearm. It was fucking horrible. Those things are dangerous. You start getting customers going back there. One, they're putting themselves at risk of severe injury. You got knives. You got extremely hot, pieces of equipment. They don't know if they're going to have to defend their lives too, as far as the employees go. There's a lot of risk in there. Restaurant employees don't deserve that shit. Nobody deserves that shit. It drives me fucking nuts. Make that customer that did that an example of. You gotta throw the book at her, because that shit's annoying as fuck and kind of scary. Because yes, this one, it ends up being like a scuffle and whatnot, but eventually it's gonna go sideways even more so. So you got that shit's got to stop. Also, if you're the person that goes like, I need a refund, or I don't think you gave me enough meat or whatever, and then you think that, one, it's good to escalate the problem and start yelling and bitching and complaining because you feel like you deserve like 3 more pieces of steak or whatever. Or you feel like violence or, taking action by going back there is a good choice. You might want to take a step back from your life and go, geez, maybe I got an eating problem, right? Because that's not a good reaction to anything. And if food is pushing you over the edge that much, holy shit, go get some help. Geez, this is like 3 episodes in a row where I suggested somebody go get therapy. What the fuck? I guess I'm turning over a new leaf. Guys, we really need to focus on our inner selves, okay? Not just what we project to other people, okay? But what we do to ourselves. And maybe taking those steps where you aggressively, reflect onto others. Let's start reflecting on ourselves, okay? I don't know what I just said. I blacked out. I don't know what I said. But that's insane. In all honesty, eventually what's going to happen is, because like I said, this lady's huge. And she's probably strong as shit too. If somebody goes back there and starts pushing and shoving employees, they're in the employee space. Nobody's supposed to be back there. Eventually, somebody's going to defend themselves, and it's going to get really violent. But then it's like, whose fault is it? If a customer goes back there and they're like, I'm going to make my own burrito or burrito bowl, blah, 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 or I'm going to make my own burger, right? And then I hate to say it, but if it gets to the point where, somebody either just beats the shit out of the customer or stabbing or something like that, there's a lot of knives back there. Those motherfuckers are super sharp compared to the shit you have at your home. But that happens. Whose fault is it? They're protecting themselves. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They don't know how far this person's going to go. Shit, man. This is a big problem, and it needs to stop. I'd be fucking pissed if that shit happened. Punch her right. If you punch her right, I know she's large. If you punch her right at the bottom of the sternum, right there, you're going to make her throw up. She'd be like, you can't hurt me. Oh, ow, that hurt. Owie. Go sit down. God damn it. Ugh, that's fucked up. It's just so fucked up. Don't do that to to anybody, any industry. People think that they can get away with anything nowadays. You got to get a little bit more harsh on these punishments to these people. You can't be fucking doing that. The employees don't deserve that. And who the fuck says you can do that? The world does not fucking revolve around you and your big ass stomach. Sorry. Be like, oh, I need to eat more. Do you? No, you don't. I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but the facts are the facts. What's driving you to make that stupid decision? My God. Anyway, I just pissed somebody off. Sorry. I didn't mean it to be a dick, but let's be honest. That's what happened. It happened. Hey, listen up, Denver. Remember this name. Game Time PDR, Paintless Dent Repair. That's what PDR stands for. And if you're one of those people that are waiting till the end of hail season, or maybe you just are a procrastinator, no worries. You got to check them out because Game Time PDR is very trustworthy. They're going to take care of you and your vehicle. They specialize in paintless dent repair, which saves the integrity of your vehicle, restores the value back into your vehicle. Now, to celebrate the end of hail season, those procrastinators out there, they're offering a $200 gift card just to get your vehicle fixed. Game Time PDR has an expert claim specialist on staff to take the hassle out of dealing with insurance claims and makes it a seamless process. Game Time PDR is going to pay your deductible up to $1,000, but they need to see your vehicle in order to qualify. They're able to pay your deductible because they work and advocate for the customers first before the insurance company. Game Time PDR's expertise and experience are unmatched. They have over 30 years of experience in the industry, and they have some of the best technicians on the planet. Call Anthony right now, 303-955-8200, 303-955-8200, and you can schedule that evaluation. It's Game Time PDR, the MVP in dent repair. Speaking of, I don't know. I was going to say, speaking of dent repair, that makes no sense. Game Time PDR is like, wait, what? Huh? I'm interested now. What's going on? Oh, shit. Oh, my God. You know what I did? I accidentally closed the sports open. I'm so dumb. So dumb. Let's see what this one is.
Going deep, tight ends and long balls. No, it's not an invitation to a Diddy party.
Oh, gross!
It's sports with the Huff.
Ew, Diddy parties. So gross. That's something that is trending for this year. We'll have to get to that next week as we do our year in review. Deion Sanders. It's funny because I never thought I would be talking so much about Deion Sanders, but I mean, he is just a hot topic, and I'm growing more and more to appreciate him. And it's funny, every time I post something on social media, you either like him or you fucking hate him. And I still don't understand why a lot of people hate him now. It's like the more you listen to him, the more I feel like you should be appreciating him. Here's Deion Sanders when asked about all the nasty talk in regards to Travis Hunter and his fiance.
I don't know about the bull jump. I think everything is great. He has a Heisman Trophy at the crib. He's projected to be the first or second pick, no later than the third. I don't know where the bull jump comes in at. I think it's all a blessing. Things that you may count on stressing is still a blessing. And I think he's headed in the right direction. He loves the game of football. I'm always focused on the positive, not the negative. It's so easy to see the negative when the positive is right there in front of you. Why would you focus on that when the positive is right there in front of you? So I love this young man. I love what he stands for. I love him like he's a son. He's exceeded expectations. He's exceeded everything we asked of him academically as well as foot athletically. So I'm happy for what he's gonna do in this particular game.
Yeah, this is a big learning moment for Travis Hunter, is dealing with today's social media and media in general. Of any glimmer of negativity is going to be exposed. Whether or not there's some truth in there, though, that's the other thing. We talked about this last week, is maybe there is some truth in the negative vibes and the negative comments coming out about his fiance. We don't know. We're truly not there to see it. But it's one of those things where it's a learning lesson for him. It's a learning lesson for his fiance, and all eyes are on him. And it's going to be amplified once he gets to the draft and once he gets into the NFL. So we'll see what happens. Now, Deion also talked in regards to getting ready for the bowl game. This is him addressing the team, and I thought it was really interesting the way he talked about it and how this team is attacking this game. It's not just another game.
My rule, you embarrass us in this university, I won't give you another chance to embarrass us in this university this week. You embarrass us in this university, you will not get a second chance to do it this week. We came here to win and not compete. We came to win, not compete. We came to dominate, not to compete. We came to win this game decisively and not compete. Seniors, this week is for you. Seniors, this week is for you and Miss Peggy. And you know the high esteem I hold for Miss Peggy and the high esteem I hold for you. So don't let none of these young men in this room, besides you seniors, don't allow you to live your moment. Herm, this means something to you, don't it? Yes, sir. Carol, this means something to you, right? Yes, sir. Oh, defensive guys, seniors, it means something to you, right? Yes, sir. Offensive guys, well, yeah, how many seniors we got on offense? Good. Don't this mean something to y'all? Yes, sir. Whole lot, right? Don't let them play around with that. This is your moment. Do not let them play around with your moment by any means. Last but not least, if I smell smoke on any floor, or if I get somebody that tells me somebody's smoking on that floor, that will be your last puff. Yeah, I'm just trying to tell you. It's going to be your last puff. That's going to be your last puff. I hope it was good, because that's going to be your last run. I promise you, if I smell smoke on your clothes at practice in the morning or at breakfast or anything, that's going to be your last time.
I love that. It's essentially it's empowering the team to say, this is your moment. If you see somebody doing something they're not supposed to, go ahead and police it, because they're not going to fuck it up for you. Without being so harsh, like he's a lot more clean about it, but that's what it is. A lot of these, like he's saying, these seniors, these guys that are moving on, whether it's to the NFL or something else, this is their last moment, their last game. We don't need some dickhead fucking around and screwing it up, whether that's prior to the game or in the game. This is it. And especially for those guys that aren't going to move on to the NFL, this is it. This is your last moment to be in front of a crowd. Deion also came out along with the AD, Rick George, over the weekend or earlier in the week, and talked about how they got the biggest insurance policies on the players in case there's an injury, especially for Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, that if they get injured, financially they'll be taken care of. Some people are like, oh, it's bullshit, blah, 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 blah. Dude, they get hurt, their career's over. That's terrible. At the very least he can do, and the university can do, is say, we got all of you. If something happens, you get injured, and you're not able to continue to the next stage, we got you. We're going to make sure you're taken care of. And that's a good thing. I think it's good. It's a reflection of what Deion brings to the table and helping influence that to the university. And it should be a learning moment for other universities to make sure that they're like, okay, are we doing that? Maybe they already are. And that's cool. But he's being vocal about it. And of course, when he speaks, everybody listens. So there's a lot that I like about Deion Sanders. You can hate on him all you want. Still don't know why. It's not about him. It's about his players, and he's trying to develop young men and make them not just great players, but great human beings. I don't understand why you want to fucking hate on it. It's like every day somebody's shitting in your Cheerios. That's what it is when it comes to Deion Sanders. You can't help it. You can't help it. There's for some reason you fucking hate his guts. Don't get it. But when I hear him speak and he's trying to teach these guys that it's like, take accountability. This is your moment. Don't let somebody steal it from you. Embrace this moment. Give 100%. Everybody in this room should be giving 100%, no less, because you don't know what tomorrow brings. And that's kind of like the whole package of all the storylines from this is you don't know if you go out there and you pull something or tear an Achilles or some nasty ass shit like that. You don't know what it's going to bring. So embrace that moment. So go out there and dominate and make sure the person next to you that you're standing shoulder to shoulder with is doing the same fucking thing, has the exact same mentality. I'm not going to let down my brother. They're not going to let me down. Right? Would you want to be in any work environment where the guy next to you is just like, I don't know, I don't want to I don't want to give all my attention to this. I'm going to half-ass it. It's fine. You don't want that in a work environment. You don't want that in a game environment. So I like what he did, what he's projecting to his athletes. I think that's great. Great. That game's this weekend. It's the later game as far as it's the Alamo Bowl between BYU and CU Buffs. Prior to that game it's a great day for Colorado sports, football, because the Denver Broncos take on the Bengals starting at 2:30 Denver time. Initially, the forecast was projecting that it was going to be rainy throughout the game. Now they're saying that it looks like it might hold off, might be some slight showers throughout the game, but the heavy rains will come after the fourth quarter. So that's good news in a sense, but also bad news. The good news is that's good news for Bo Nix in the Broncos passing game, because the Broncos run game is essentially non-existent. It existed last week in the first half, then it just disappeared. Like poof, magic, it's gone. Like that 49 grams of cotton candy and down that lady's gullet. That's what happened. It's just like, where the fuck did it go? She fucking ate it. What the shit? That's what happened with the Broncos run game last week. So the good thing is Bo Nix is going to be able to toss the rock. That's great. That's great. Bad news, that means Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense is able to chuck the rock. They're fucking legit. They might have the number one pass offense in the league. If not, they're within the one or two. Okay? They're really fucking good, and that's scary. If Riley Moss isn't 100%, I want to say he's full participant, so he should be in the game, and he's really, really needed to be in that secondary. But hopefully, because the Broncos secondary has been trash the past 2-3 games. They need him so bad. And the problem is they're going up against Joe Burrow. He's good. Now, that being said, their record is trash, but he's really fucking good, and so is their passing game as far as their receivers go. Something to look out for, Cortland Sutton is only 72 yards away from getting 1,000 yards receiving. That's great. I believe he's only done that once before in his career, so congratulations to him. He's on the doorstep. He hasn't accomplished it yet. Okay? Bo Nix, I had some stuff on Bo Nix too. He's about to accomplish something pretty cool as well. Hold on one second. Where the fuck did that go? There it is. There's my guy. Bo Nixer. With 3 touchdown passes, Bo Nix can become the 5th rookie in NFL history and first since Justin Herbert in 2020 to record 3,000 passing yards and 25 passing scores. So that's pretty cool. Something to look out for. Kind of gives you an idea of how good of a season he is. Is he better than what's his nuts? I can't even think of his name with the Commanders. But yeah, he's having a good season. Is he rookie of the year? Maybe not, but that's okay. Who gives a shit? If the Broncos win this game, they're in the playoffs, and that's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And it also takes a lot of pressure off the last game of the season against the Chiefs, which hopefully they rest their starters and make it a lot easier of a game. But it's definitely exciting to see how this game plays out. I'm kind of scared with this game. They're in Cincy. Joe Burrow is going to have some opportunities to chuck the rock, but in a way, it's just at least Nix is right there too, and he's able to compete with that. I just don't want to see it go down like a whole Cleveland Browns Monday Night Football type of thing where it's just exchanging blows one after another. I don't want to see that. Because definitely Joe Burrow and company can lay the hammer down. We'll see how this goes, but I'm a little nervous about this game in Cincinnati. You know what we need to do? Jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
I had a lot of these filtering in after I did last episode. They're leftovers from Festivus. Festivus was on the 23rd, right? Yeah, the Festivus, where you air your grievances and stuff and give feats of strength. This comes in from Andrew on Facebook. When you have to scan a QR code to check in for reservation you made, and then it doesn't work. Wait, did I already say this one? Maybe I did. And then you have to stand there looking like an asshole until someone comes to help you. Paul wrote, Cole's checkout line. That's just something that pisses him off. It's true. We were at that Home Goods, and holy fuck, man. The amount of people that are just, I don't know. Going into a department store in the holiday season is just frustrating in general. But then, like, when you go to any, like, grocery store, department store, checkout line, the lack of urgency people have and the whole idea that the world revolves around them is really frustrating. It's really just jaw-dropping at times. People just dragging their ass, making small talk with the fucking cashier. Cashier doesn't give a shit about you. He just wants to pump you out and get the next person going. And you're like, oh, that's a lovely tie you're wearing today. Oh, that's great. My grandson has the same one. And I thought he likes men. You're like, I don't fucking care. Get the fuck out. Good for him. He chomps on knob. Let's go. Let's get this thing moving. Wendy wrote, when your kid steals your heatable neck pillow because he likes the weight and then you ask for it back and he can't find it. Seriously, dude. Yeah. My son's at the age and size now where he can borrow my stuff and it, like jackets and whatnot. And that's weird as hell. But he did that the other day with something. And I'm like, dude, where is it? Where'd you put it? I can't remember what it was. It's like a shirt or a hoodie. And I'm like, dude, come on, fuck. Before you know it, he's going to be like bigger than me. And that's going to drive me nuts. Kyle wrote, Kansas City Chiefs. Enough said. Yeah, they are annoying. They beat the shit out of, God, I can't, my brain is just not working today. I'm still getting over the stomach flu. Yeah, they looked good the last game, but man, I really hope they get kicked in the dick in their first game of the playoffs. I really do. Just get blindsided by whoever the fuck they play. They just irritate the shit out of me. On Twitter, Space Ace wrote, I hate my coworkers. They bitch and moan about every little thing on the job site, complain that we got to work all this overtime to meet deadlines during this holiday season, even though they sat on their ass for months doing the bare minimum. Yeah, that's a good fucking point. Guessing you're in construction. And if you're sitting there not putting in full effort during the quote unquote regular season of your job, now you're pissed that you have to work overtime during the holiday seasons. Guess what? Guess whose fault that is? You. That's your fault. Maybe put in some effort and stop stealing a paycheck. How about that? Oh, it's weird to think about earning a paycheck. I don't know. I don't like it. That sounds gross. So annoying. So freaking. It's like, this is your fault. We used to get people that would do that shit in restaurants and in radio. People dragging their feet. And then when it comes time for quitting time, they're like, ugh, I didn't get it done. Well, like, why didn't you get it done? That's like a 5-minute project or a 30-minute project. You could have had it done. Now everybody hates your fucking guts. You realize that, right? And in this situation, construction, it's like, I can only imagine. I would love to see a well-oiled construction team and have them go up in an equal project against a fucking lazy ass construction team and see how much further along they are as far as a timeline goes. You're like, how they finished the project and you're only halfway through yours. That's got to be frustrating. It's got to be frustrating too if you're the one, busting your nuts. I don't know why you'd be busting a nut on a job site. Hey, who am I to judge? Okay, you're busting a nut. Yeah, that's got to be frustrating. Space Ace, I agree with you. And it doesn't really matter what industry you're in. There's always going to be somebody that drags their feet, whether it's on a daily project basis, or it's like you got a week to get this done or a month to get it done. And then there's always those people that just procrastinate. And you're like, where are you at? Well, I just started. When I went to help out those kids at my son's class, the 6th grade class for engineering, when I went in there, I'm making rounds on the tables and they're all working on something. It was really basic that they had to learn. They took apart old toys, took the motors out, and they were basically supposed to connect it, one, to see if they can get the motor started using batteries and wires. Really simple. And then after that, they were going to connect it to almost like this weird motherboard type thing, and then connect it to a computer and get it to do certain things. So what was interesting is you make your rounds, and I'm in there for say 20 minutes, and I get to a table, and I'm like, where are you guys at? What are you guys up to? Well, we haven't done anything yet. We kind of took apart the toy. Everybody else was putting wires together, and one group had it connected to the computer, and they're making it do stuff on the computer. They hadn't even started, essentially. I said, let's start from the very, very beginning. Okay. You don't want to wait. Let's start from the very beginning. What's the very first thing you need to do? What are your pieces that you need to start with? And then I literally had to guide them. I was like, okay, you got the motor. Okay, there's the motor. There you go. What do you need to connect it to? Well, a battery. Well, how are you going to do that? With wires. Okay, where are the wires at? Okay, now let's, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. So, but it's one of those things where maybe some people just have kids. It starts when you're young. Nobody's ever told you got to start at the beginning. Don't be looking at the end project all the time. You got to know where you're headed, but you got to know, where do I need to, what's the very first step? Okay, what's the very first step? You get the motor. Okay, what's the next step? Get the wires connected to it. Okay, what's the next step? We got to get, it connected to a battery. Okay, how do you do that? You do this. Okay, wow, it's moving. Yay, you did it. Now what? What's the next step? It's like, don't be constantly looking at the very end, because that's just going to overwhelm you. And it was funny because by they ended up, somewhat catching up, but it was just like you had to really hold their hand and walk them through. And that's got to be annoying, especially on like a construction site. If somebody's just like, oh man, I'm just going to keep taking breaks. This is really exhausting thinking about what we need to get done. Well, just focus on the one task at a time. Jesus Christ. Oh God. That's shit that just frustrates me. It's another reason why I don't want to outsource any of like my production or anything like that, because I know that there's a lot of people, especially in media, that just drag their ass on stuff. There's a lot of people in media, especially, that have never had real jobs. They're media lifers. They stayed at home. They didn't get a real job. Their parents, for whatever reason, didn't make them or whatever. So then when they get a job in the media and they've never had to grind, whether it's in construction, whether it's in retail, whether it's in restaurant or whatever, they've never had to grind. And it shows when it's trying to get projects done. It's just like, get it fucking done. Get it out of the way. And some people just have a hard time with that. My daughter is really good about that. She's like, okay, you got to get something done. Get it done now. Then you can play later. My son, complete opposite. It's one, you can teach them how to do it and show them how to do it, but they still have to do it. And then like when he does do it the right way, as far as getting a project done first thing, he's very proud of himself. Like, now do that all the fucking time, please, for the love of God. So anyway, I don't know. Space Ace, thank you so much. Kyle, Wendy, Paul, Andrew, thank you guys so much for joining the show. Really do appreciate you guys. By the way, when it comes to the Broncos, I think they're gonna, if they win, that's a big if. I'm not confident in the Broncos right now. First thing that pops in my head is they lose. I don't want to say that. I'm going to say if they win, they're going to win by a field goal. Ugh, gross. Don't like it. I think the Buffs beat BYU. I say they win by 2 touchdowns. There you go. It's going to be a fun weekend in Colorado football, whether it's the Buffs or the Broncos. Very exciting. Can't wait to see those games play out. Thank you guys so much for listening. Next week, we're going to do year in review. That's going to be a lot of fun. If there's some stories that you want to make sure that we hit on for the year in review, some of your best headlines, whether it was something that we hit on or not on this program, let me know to huffpodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on my socials @ToHuffPodcast, and let me know what definitely needs to make the list of top storylines from this year, whether it's something that we addressed or something that, we did not. Again, that would be great if you guys can interact. Really appreciate you guys. Thanks for supporting the show. Really appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Kirkwall Group, as well as Game Time PDR, and, of course, Bet Online. It's the Huff Uncensored. Let's continue to move forward. You guys are great. It's the Huff Uncensored. I'll talk to you next time.